Welcome back to the She Didn't Text Back podcast. I'm William Haynes.
I'm Kennedy G.
I'm John Ross.
And I'm Sabrina.
So good to have you here. You're so cool. You've done so many cool things lately. How are you feeling?
Bloated.
Bloated?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
I'm starting to think that since Creator Clash,
Yeah.
I may have damaged my abdominal muscles, which is why I'm covering them right now.
Oh my goodness.
Because now I'm just bloated all the time, and I pee really easily.
Oh
which
my
I think
goodness.
is a result of getting punched in the stomach over and over. I think it might affect that.
Yeah,
I don't
was
hear
really
enough
interested.
boxers talking about them.
So yeah, your coach, you had the same coach as the guy that I fought, Chris Raygun. So
Yeah.
I was on you guys' pages looking for information, like looking for something to exploit. So I saw him doing the thing where he was punching you guys in the stomach while you guys were doing sit-ups.
Mm-hmm.
See, isn't he from Ukraine or?
Bulgaria.
Oh, he's from Bulgaria, man.
Yeah.
See these Eastern European, European dudes, that's who I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
No, yeah, they fight to survive. That's how they got out of Bulgaria.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Wherever they from? Did
Yeah.
you guys come to Creator Clash and boxing stuff at all?
No, I didn't.
I definitely did.
Right.
Yeah.
You were out there, yeah.
He told me about it last minute, and I wanted to go, but I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, I can't. I'm not even gonna be here. I think I was in Palm Springs that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that
I
sounds
was
so
just,
nice.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
you were supposed to
Understandable.
style me, but
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason I told you last minute was because they told me last minute. So when I had to come out here, I put literally all of my clothes in my suitcase. I was like, I'm gonna be out here for 3 weeks.
That's why it was so big.
It was 55
I was like, Wow,
pounds.
your whole wardrobe.
My
yeah, I
entire-
remember. I was like, dude, this is over the check-in limit.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
The lady told me too. She was like, "You're gonna have to pay for that." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "You don't know what you're gonna need." So
Yeah.
so you were supposed to style me for the gala afterwards.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when the time came, I was just literally,
Yeah.
I was just like,
we
"What's in
wouldn't
my
have ended up all
suitcase?"
three of us wearing turtlenecks if Kennedy had
Yeah.
styled you.
Yeah, that was so. I had recently rebranded myself as a turtleneck person. Like right before Creator Clash, I was like,
when did you rebrand yourself?
He rebrands himself every 2.5 weeks.
every
I
year,
know.
yeah, really.
Fresh.
He does, and he honestly, we're about to start having. You're gonna start needing approval.
Yeah, because it doesn't work. But the fact that y'all wore the weeks before that, John and Luis, they kept telling me that they were gonna wear turtlenecks too, and I was
We did
like,
warn him. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"You're joking, right?"
So you
It
all
was
wore
good.
turtlenecks?
We all
Yeah,
wore turtlenecks.
so me and Luis, I was like, I'm down to match with Luis because we're stupid like that.
Yeah.
But then the fact that it's a third person, it's like, oh, this is a whole team now.
Yeah.
You guys probably looked like Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
But we had blazers and stuff.
we
you know?
all had
Oh,
turtlenecks
okay,
and
okay.
blazers in the hottest Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So hot.
Oh, you guys were in Tampa.
Yeah.
That shit was
Ooh.
humid as fuck.
It was
So-
not.
I bet it was so hot and humid
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
But the temperature changes every 30 minutes. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was
Like
rainy, then
raining. I
cloudy,
know,
then
yeah,
hot.
raining.
Yeah.
It was too much. Yeah, when we went outside, I was like, I just have to take this everything off.
So you styled yourself then for your boxing shorts, right?
Yeah.
You didn't pick those shorts
No,
for
and
him.
just to be clear, next year I will be styling everything.
There you
everything.
go.
Yeah.
Down to the shorts in the arena. I already have.
Well, his
permission
shorts
for
that he ordered didn't come in on time.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I was supposed to wear these tiny
Oh.
little. They came way smaller than I thought they would. These American flag shorts that I wore on the boat trip. But this is the first time Amazon was just like, we're not sending you your thing. It came there 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it's good because Chris Raygun wore a Puerto Rican flag, and that's how they identify you is the red, white, and blue flag.
Yeah,
we
so
couldn't
they would have been the
both.
same colors fighting each other.
Yeah. And I know all the rest of the fighters spent so much money on their walkouts. I wore my
Yeah,
sister's Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
Shorts.
it's kind of cool. It was kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Because I think a lot of people thought that I had previous boxing training. What it really was is that my sister took Muay Thai 10 years ago, so she taught me this is how you do a punch. This is how you do a right and a left. And
Yeah.
then my brother, after a couple months, he was like, okay, this is how you
Yeah.
really do it. And then he didn't help me for 8 months, and then
Because
I
that
did
was for the
Creator Clash.
previous year, right?
Yeah, that was all 2021. They
Yeah,
used some of the clips before I cut my hair, and then so yeah, the fact that my sister was the one that was first showing me here's how you do punches,
Yeah.
and then I was like, all right, I'll wear your $25.
To me, that's cool. And she
Shorts.
really liked that, right?
Oh yeah, she loved it.
Yeah.
My sister watched Creator Clash 20 times.
Aw.
She's
Oh.
super into it. Yeah.
The
She
first
loves.
and the second, or just the second?
Or just this one, this one. My
Yeah.
fight with Chris, she watches it on repeat and saw everybody's as well. But
There you go.
Do you want to fight again?
How did you get into boxing? What made you want to start?
So I had zero athletic experience
Mhm.
before this at all. Like I was the kid that got out of high school PE if I could.
God.
Same.
So
Notes. Yeah.
But
for
I
sure.
attended the first one,
Mhm.
and I don't know, it was just kind of inspiring, and seeing like the first female boxing creator fight
Right.
was very inspiring. And so Ian and Anissa asked me that weekend if I would consider doing it next time. And I was like, I mean, if you could find somebody my size, sure. Because at that time, I was about, 5 feet tall. That stayed the same. 100 pounds. And I didn't know if there was going to be another person in that range to
Yeah.
fight me. But then later, a few months later, they hit me up and they're like, hey, we have somebody for you. Do you still want to fight? And I said, yes. Okay. And so I started training. I trained in September.
Yeah.
You trained in
March, April.
Oh.
I started April 1st or
So
2nd.
you were
Yeah.
training for a while, and you didn't have too much. Did you have a lot of time to train?
So it started with about like 2 days a week, and then just jump roping every day,
Mhm.
getting some cardio, and then little by little increasing it to like 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and then there's something called fight camp, which is
Yeah.
about a month before your fight, and that was like 6 days a week, multiple times a day. So it increased over time.
Okay, and you probably had to change your
Oh.
diet too.
Oh my god, yes!
What
I
was
had
that
to.
like?
I had to gain like 15 pounds.
Oh my god!
And it had to be good weight, which when I
Yeah.
wasn't hitting it very well, I just stopped trying to eat only good shit and just ate anything.
Yeah.
And
right.
so a lot of my weight was fat by the time the fight came.
Mhm.
So fat doesn't help you that much, but it helps you make weight.
That's
so
it,
that's
yeah.
good. Because my opponent, she wasn't coming down in weight enough. I was at about 100 and she was at 130. So we had to try to meet in the middle at 115.
Okay.
And just for the longest, I kept hearing that like she wasn't coming down. She was only gonna do 125, then 122. Like it just,
yeah.
it was so high, and so
Oof.
that's when I was like, okay, I just gotta try to scarf anything at this point.
So also, I know with boxing, like you have to. It's all about like the weight. Like you have to, like you said, meet your partner's weight. So as a woman in that sport, especially with like like gaining weight, and it's so sensitive to us versus like men, and they're so easy to just gain weight and lose weight.
Definitely.
What does that look like for you and in your journey, and how did that kind of make you view yourself and like your like, because I know for me, if I had to switch weight like that, I would be looking in the mirror like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Right.
Yep.
So how did that make you feel, and like what did that look like for you?
The weight gain was really, really hard.
Mhm.
I was, drinking all the protein shakes. I was
Right.
running all the time, working out all the time, burning anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories a
Mhm.
day.
Dang.
So just like the intake of calories was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's just my own body or something, but like my stomach never got flat. I never saw my abs at all. I really do think that part of the training was just getting bare knuckle punched by my coach over and over and over.
Yeah.
I think that might have messed up like my abdomen a little bit. But
I was gonna say that.
yeah, and then maybe I could have like trained more in my arms, because like everybody else's arms, like everybody was taking those pictures like showing off their new guns that they'd been working on for 8 years. I didn't have those, so I don't know if I just like wasn't working out enough, or it felt like I was 6 days a week.
Yeah,
But I don't know, just
sure.
weight wasn't coming on to me the same as it was for other people. Also,
Genetics.
like most people were taking genetics.
Yeah.
Genetics.
Huge,
100%.
huge factor.
Yeah.
But also, everybody was taking things like creatine.
Yeah.
That's a huge help. I couldn't take it because it just made me
It
feel.
makes you,
It
and
made
it
my
also
heart feel
makes you,
funny.
it makes you, it makes your heart race. It makes you bloated. It makes you
Yes.
gassy.
Make you poop,
Yup.
right?
It makes you have to poop.
The creatine
Oh.
shits.
It's like all, even like pre-workout with creatine,
Oh,
like all
cannot.
that stuff. And then like that also goes in, same thing with like going into abs. Like you're taking creatine and you have to drink so much water to
Yep.
kind of like combat like how bloated it already makes you. So it's like a lot of factors on top of like gaining weight and healthy weight. So I can only imagine like,
Yeah. It made me
For
feel
you?
really different about myself. So I had the opposite of you. I had lost 13 pounds.
Well,
And,
yeah.
and obviously my look is a huge part of my identity as well.
right, yeah, exactly.
And I already work out 6 days a week, 7 days a week, lifting weights. So the first thing my trainer told me to stop doing was lifting weights. So I was like, I'm gonna deflate immediately, but I actually didn't. Like, when the event came, everybody said, "Oh, Will looks really built." I expected myself to look skinny again.
Yeah.
But the
I mean,
fact
you
that
only had like 2 weeks, dude. You
I know,
like-
yeah, yeah.
Well, you only had 2 weeks.
But lifting weights, people don't know when you
It's gonna
lift
go away that
weights.
fast. Yeah.
When you lift weights, you deflate really easily.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Really?
it's the fact that I kept working out so much. The boxing training, like my arms are actually smaller now than it was then because he had me throwing so many punches. My arms stayed big, and like genetics, my abs are genetic. Like everybody's like, "How did you get abs?"
Yeah.
Genetics.
I will say, because I'm a former Division I athlete.
Are you really?
Yeah.
She a triple threat.
So as a former athlete myself, it's just crazy, like the difference, like this that my body was in, like at that time, like running every day, lifting.
But is
heavy.
lacrosse a sport?
Yes, it is.
Kidding. That is like one of the most violent sports.
I know,
Thank
right?
you.
It's intense.
Thank you.
And I thought I was
It
saying
is.
the wrong one. Is it really lacrosse
Yeah,
that you
it's
used to do?
lacrosse.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
yeah.
I used to run track.